welcome to Garretts Green Stinkers number 11. Thought I'd take the opportunity while we've got a little bit of sunshine. This particular stinker that we're going to today is far more likely to turn up on your test than many of the others that I've made. I mean, yes, of course, you could get those others. As I've said to you before, DVSA don't publish the routes anymore. But all those I've recorded up until now have occurred in test routes in the past, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of them will still be cropping up. And if not, they're still useful anyway as a means of instruction. But this one, I think, is strongly likely still to be on the list of test routes out of Garretts Green. This one really is not so much the difficulty in controlling the car. The problem with this one is the question of being legal or being illegal. At the junction we're going to go to, where the stinker is, the majority of drivers behave illegally. I'll explain that when we get there. And of course they set a bad example and can be a nuisance for you if you're trying to do it legally. So it's just a few minutes up the road from here. And I'll just say a word or two about forthcoming stinkers videos on the way around. There's still quite a few I can do out of Garretts Green. But I've been teaching now for 21 years. I've done lots of tests at King's Heath. I've done lots of tests at King's Standing. And I've done quite a few tests at Shirley. I know King's Standing is pretty well off my patch, and I don't know the routes awfully well, but King's Heath, I know a few real stinkers in King's Heath. So later in the year, before too long, we'll move on to King's Heath stinkers and also Shirley stinkers. Again, I'm pretty familiar with King's Heath, done lots of tests over there over the years. Shirley not so many, but I do know of some difficulties in the Shirley area. So there may not be as many of either of those as there will be for Garretts Green, but they're upcoming. So that's something to look forward to if you wish in the future, if you're taking your test at King's Heath or Shirley. I just want to say thank you to so many kind remarks and comments in the comments boxes on these videos, and I'm glad you're finding them helpful. That's some really nice, encouraging comments, so I'm glad you're finding them helpful. Now we're coming to a road just here that heads down, it's Bordesley Green, it heads down towards the Heartlands Hospital from the test centre, and you could quite well come this way. And the stinker will be at the traffic lights about a third of a mile, well, quarter of a mile or less, just down the hill here. So I'm going to talk through what you should do and explain what the problems are as we go down there. At the traffic lights at the bottom of the hill, and I'd say you could well get this, at the traffic lights, as you can see at the bottom of the hill, we're going to take the left turn. Now as you come down there, you'll see a bus lane sign on the left. You must read that. It's Monday to Saturday, 7 till 7. So the bus lane is not available for you if it's in those times. So it's illegal to move over now. Check your mirror here, make a left signal for following traffic, but don't go into the bus lane until there's an arrow that's just ahead of the white car. You'll see the arrow saying you can move over. You do not move over on the unbroken solid white line. That will be illegal. Even if you moved over now, I dare say as close as this, you're likely to fail. Wait until the left arrow says you can move over. Very important to double check your mirrors to make sure nobody's passing you on the left hand side, because they will do here. They'll ignore the bus lane, they'll come down your left. So we move over now. The signal isn't critical here because it's a left only turn. You can have it on if you wish, but it's a left only turn anyway once you get into that bus lane. So it's the question of not breaking the law there. The turn is easy enough, and what you must do is you come down the hill towards the turn. Obviously you check your mirrors in the normal way, your rear and near mirrors, that's your left side mirror. Put your signal on if there's following traffic, or in fact I would put the signal on for traffic ahead of me as well. but do not move into that bus lane while the line on your left is solid and unbroken. That will be illegal. Now it might be that you'll feel it's okay, as many drivers do, to crop up the last couple of feet. I wouldn't do that either. Do not move over until the arrow on the road says you can move over, because otherwise you could actually, if you pass your test, you could actually get fined by the council if they were feeling bloody minded. Fined by the council, and I think it's about £60 for driving in the bus lane against the law. Always be on the lookout for those blue signs. They'll tell you on the bottom what days they're operating, what times they're operating, and be sure that those times are the times when it's illegal for you as a driver to be in them. It's buses only, and taxis and bikes and so forth. So we're heading back down again. I'm going to turn left here. I'm signalling left because I could go right if I wished to. So as you're coming down to the lights, check your mirror, because you're going to slow for the lights anyway. Always what you need to have in mind is that because you're taking your time to move in, the guy behind might ignore you, ignore the law, and pass you on your left. So keep that in mind. Always double check before you actually move across. No matter how many times you've checked the mirror before. I've got somebody following me now. I'm planning to go left, so it's rear and near mirrors, left signal, but I'm keeping in the centre because it would be illegal to move over here at this time of day. It's about 12 o'clock noon now. I've got a big blue beamer behind me, but he's keeping in this lane. I'm looking to see if anybody's coming down the bus lane. No, there isn't. So now I can move into the bus lane. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Keep that in mind. That's all there is to it. Stinker number 11. I will go around once more. As I say, the turn itself, dead easy really, just a left turn. But it's all about not breaking the law at that point. And I promise you, while you're waiting in the middle there with your left signal on, you will get people passing you on the left, and therefore you must be very careful to double check your mirror when the lights change and you begin to move. Now if you get a situation where you're waiting in that centre lane, you've got your left signal on, the lights are on red so you can't move, but you're waiting in that centre lane, you've got your left signal on, and some guy comes down the bus lane, stops behind you and flashes his lights, what would you do? Somebody has come down behind you, you're waiting in the middle lane, you've got left signal on, lights are red, the guy behind stops behind you in the bus lane and flashes his lights. What do you think you should do? And the answer is don't move. Don't thank him and move across, because he's encouraging you to break the law. You stay where you are whether he likes it or not, because what he might consider to be courtesy is actually encouraging you to break the law, and your examiner will not look favourable on that. You'll still fail if you move into that bus lane before the line breaks. And again, let me just repeat, don't think it's okay to cut off a yard or cut off a metre. Don't cut any of it off. Wait till the line breaks and the arrow says you can move across, and then and only then, the lights being green of course, you move across. So one more trip, and that's all there is to it, stinker number 11. So again, strong likelihood you'll come down here on your test, I think. At least I think one of the test routes will come down here. You can see the traffic lights at the bottom of the hill now. I've got a car fairly close behind. You can see the bus lane sign on the left. On the bottom it says Monday to Saturday, 7 till 7. So I'm turning left, so I'm checking my mirrors, I'm making my left signal. Now I don't know at the moment what the car behind is going to do, but I'm keeping in the centre. I cannot move over while there's a solid line. Now the car behind, she's just moved to the left, and now she's moved back in behind me, so she's pretty unpredictable really. Don't know quite what she's going to do. I've had another look because she is staying in the centre lane, so I can safely move across. It might be wise for you to leave your left signal on there, I would suggest, because although it isn't strictly necessary, you've got your inner lane for left turn only. There might be a pedestrian maybe waiting around the corner, and they'll need a signal even if the traffic knows what you're doing. So I mean, do what your own instructor tells you, but my advice to my pupils would be keep your signal on. An advanced driver wouldn't do it, probably. I wouldn't do it, but as a learner you have to be a little bit more careful. We don't want to upset the examiner. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. That's Garretts Green stinker number 11.